start now. And this is our Discord. Welcome to the Forex League live trading session. So we are doing another live trading session. It is Thursday, May 14th. And as always, we like to start with DXY. This is the inside of our Discord. For you guys that are new to these live sessions, pretty much we are just going to go over all of our analysis that we have posted in that Discord chat. And we are going to go over potential trades for today and for the rest of the week. Look at our higher time frame analysis that we post for free. And then the signals and the premium analysis, that all goes out to paid members. So if you want to get started, go ahead.
Yeah. Damn, I was just about to sneeze right there. Whew, got robbed. All right, guys. So as we said yesterday, we had a close look. We were keeping an eye on DXY, seeing where it was going. We saw that we were getting a lot of resistance from this 100.25 area. But then, we saw this double top formation and price action decided to drop. Right? But we found some support at the weekly level here. Key support. Excuse me one second. This is crazy.
Yeah, so DXY is, again, for you guys that don't know, is just the value of the US dollar. So obviously we're trading UJ, UCAD, USD CAD, GBP USD, NZD USD, everything like that. Those are all weighted against the USD. Those are all quoted against the US dollar. So we don't trade the dollar index, but looking at the dollar index is definitely very important for us. We want to see technically how this is forming structure, what is the trend, where it is going. Yesterday, I believe we were at a low on DXY, and like Nick said, we found a lot of support in that area. So now we're shooting up quite a bit, and just take note of this as we start to look at the other pairs that do correlate with USD, right, and that have USD, in their pair, and you'll see how those are appreciating or depreciating with the dollar and with this chart.
Absolutely. So the move in correlation, relatively depending on the pair, as I said. So we are bullish on the US dollar. So that means US dollar pairs will, be bullish relatively. So USD JPY would be bullish, whereas AUD USD would be bearish because the dollar is appreciating. So it just depends on the currency pair. But we did see this huge support level met, right? Price action reversed pretty sharply. We had some good exhaustion. Weekly levels here, 200 EMA. And this also was because it was slightly positive news, because I know there were talks of the Fed going to a negative interest rate. They said there was really no need for it. That was yesterday, and that resulted in some positive movement coming out of the US dollar. However, overnight they were talking about potentially entertaining the idea of negative rates if we do see a second wave of Corona happen, right? COVID-19 happen in the next few months. So they're going to readdress the situation. Basically, they're leaving the door open. Depending on how this plays out, because they're ready to adapt. They're ready to pull any triggers or levers they need to stimulate the economy and what's best for our economy at home first. So they're ready to do whatever they got to do. We're just waiting to see how this all plays out. If it's going to get worse, if things are going to get better, if the second wave is going to be worse. So it's very fundamentally driven right now, but we are still very bullish. The news is still pretty much positive for the US dollar. So that's what we're seeing this little bit of a rally for. Now that we're above this, minor resistance level around 125.25, we're just looking for, maybe some lower time frame retest of this area. We're just looking for good structure formation on lower time frames all the way up until this 101 handle. So I'm still bullish on the dollar. We still got a little bit of room to move, which is good because, when I get over to these other charts, you'll see how much movement has already taken place based on this. Which is a very good sign, right? We want to see it come up to the 101, and then we'll readdress, see how price action is reacting at this level, and if we could see another reversal from this 101 handle. Because again, we have been ranging pretty consistently. Every time it gets to 98.5, we'll see a bounce. Every time it gets near 101, we'll see a bounce. So this is a good sign. This is good structure. It's showing that there's dollar stability, which is really what this market needs right now, and especially since 80% of all trade is made up of the U.S. dollar. So if the dollar's not stable, that means pretty much the whole market's unstable and could pretty much wreak havoc throughout. So this is a good sign. Nice little 4-hour bullish trend, continuation higher, looking to get to 101. So short-term outlook, at least for the rest of this week and potentially early next week, bullish on the dollar. All right, let's keep going. AUD USD. So this was a potential trade that we had marked up yesterday. We're actually here on the 1 hour. So key level is this 0.64 handle, as we talked about, right? So we saw this double top happen. It actually retested these fib levels twice. It hit the 61.8 and then the 50, lower high, and then price action just fell off. So this was a good markup that we did. I didn't put this out because we already had a few trades with this, sentiment. Like that was already a short position. So Euro USD, I'll get to that in a second. So this was a good little bonus trade if you guys had taken it based on the analysis.
Yeah,
I
where were we
actually
at
didn't.
yesterday in
We
this
were
live
up here.
session?
This was right. Okay, so this live session was right before this giant surge happened. This
Oh
candle
yeah,
here.
yeah.
So right after our live session, like I think it was around, right around our live session and after, it just dropped. This happened. This giant evening star, and this was because of that news that we had talked about, right?
Yeah, so
So as I said,
let's go over what potential entry could have been on this AUD
potential
USD.
entry. Well, potential entry. If you were to get in early, it could have been over here on this engulfing through the MAs. Something in this variation here could have been a potential entry. Not the cleanest setup, but you could have had an entry right in here, right, on this variation. Stop loss up here. Still would have made sense. For you to enter on this wouldn't make that much sense. Your risk to reward would be totally skewed. We are still going to target this structure level around 0.64, but look, it wouldn't make sense. It's only a 1.5 risk reward, so that would be too late to enter on just because of the sheer size of that damn candle. So let's go back a little. Right, so this would have been the most ideal, safest trade, entering on this variation here. So I probably would have done it something like this. Make stop loss a little higher, about 2.5 risk reward. Move your stop loss outside the 786, target down towards our resistance level. Our support level, our key support around 0.64, as well as the negative 61.8 fib level. So that would have been a really good trade. It came back up, formed a lower high, retested this level, and it's up quite a bit of pips right now, almost 80 to get about 103. So this was a nice little bonus trade. Again, this was put out in analyses only. We did not put this out as a trade because we already had a lot of active trades. We thought this one was unnecessary, but still a good example of a clean transition. So you can see here on the 1 hour, this is a clean transition. This is a little 1 hour zone, a 1 hour like zone, structure zone. Broke, came back tested, hit a fib level as well, came back through, gave us some good bearish setups and variations, came back again, formed a lower high off the 50%, and then continued to drop with strong bearish setups, even more so. So yeah, this one's looking pretty good. So this was that short-term trade. I know I was talking about potentially playing into the higher time frames, and this was part one of that trade. So here is what we could potentially see, right? If AU continues to drop, we want to see a transition happen below 0.64. So we would need a break of this level, right, through the 200 EMA, through this key support level, and retest as a 4 hour confirmed lower high with those strong bearish setups. And then we're playing into this 4 hour, this 4 hour move, this daily continuation even, because if you go to the daily, it's super bearish. So this would be a daily continuation, and you could expect a crap load of volume from this level if this is confirmed. So just be aware of that. But right now we're on the 4 hour because we want to see these 4 hour confirmations. I want to see this level break, retest, and then show us some sort of conviction from the bears. And then we're looking to short the hell out of it. So again, this was part one, right? We caught this early part. We saw this 1 hour transition play out. Now we're up on the 4 hour, waiting for this transition to take place here now, right? Almost like a domino effect. We're identifying it on the lower time frame. Now we're identifying on the medium time frame, 4 hour, and we're looking for a daily. So right now we're on the 4 hour. We're looking at a huge potential move to take place, almost 400 pips, and this thing could drop all the way down to 0.603. Again, we're just waiting for confirmations. I'm not saying, oh, I'm predicting this. I have a crystal ball. I'm just saying, if it breaks below this 0.64 area, I want to consider then, shorting, all the way down to this level based on higher time frame sentiment, which is extremely bearish, right? And this 4 hour bullish trend is just only that, a 4 hour bullish trend, right? It's a small piece in a much larger move. So just always keep that in mind. We do have a nice double top here, though. This was pretty key to see. Double top, transition, Strong volume. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So that's AU. Right now we're just keeping an eye on it. Anyone that did sell EU or AU, good trade, definitely. All right, now we're on AJ. This one was signaled. Again, pretty much the same sentiment as AU. So this is what I was talking about, why, we weren't just throwing out every single trade. A lot of them had executed at the same time. And we, we sent out the highest probability ones that we thought would be best for the group and community. So right now, again, very similar. Double top, right at the 70 handle, right? And then we saw this transition take place, right? It broke lower, tested, gave us some lower highs, finally gave us that lower low after this engulfing, which we entered on. We entered right over here. Right, we entered like on this nice evening star, protect our stop loss, targeting all the way down to this level. At least at over a 2.5 risk reward. So this is very good trade. This is active right now, right? So this would be another key level right here. Kind of like the last level of support that we wanted to see break on this transition, which was key. And it happened. Here it is. Now we're getting below this level. We're getting some good structure on this lower time frame. And it's looking like some good bearish movement is still holding this pair, which is good to see. We want to see it get all the way down and finish this trade. Again, 2 to 2.5, 2.6 risk reward, about 180 pips. So this one's looking really good so far. Let's get that 4-hour outlook just to get an idea. Right? Whoa. Hold on one second. There we go. All right. So super bearish, right on the higher time frames. Here we're on the 4-hour. We're seeing that rejection. So this is a good sign so far. We're looking to get down to 67.5, which is very likely. We're getting a crap load of exhaustion off these MAs. It's holding this trend pretty well. Nice bearish engulfing on this 4-hour, showing good conviction. And that's exactly what you want to see, right? You just want to see these clean transitions. You want to identify some higher time frame patterns, and then identify some good setups that we can then enter on and then manage a position from. So yeah, we're looking good right now. Looking really good. Total 180 pips. We're about 66 in profit right now. So we got a little ways to go, about 100 plus more pips, all the way down to 67.5. Right, and then once we get to this area, we'll then be, faced with another, couple scenarios. Is it going to bounce or is it going to break? In which case, we'll be looking for a retest. 4-hour lower highs where we'll be looking to enter on them, something like this. Right, so we're always staying a little open-minded, right? Kind of trying to see a market for like what it is, what scenarios could play out, and getting ourselves ready for any scenario, basically. So. If we do see this continue lower, it turns into a huge continuation, a daily continuation of that overall bearish sentiment. We could see this happen, in which case we'll be looking to play it down to the next major support level, right, which is down here. Right around 6%. So let's go ahead and take a look at the daily real quick, see if it makes sense. Right? Hugely bearish channel. Yep. We'll get these little bullish channels, these little bullish pullbacks on the daily here. That's very similar to what's happening now. We'll start to get a transition. Look what happens over here. You get a little double top action. Confirm lower high and lower time frame. Little double top action. We'll get a lower high in this area around our projected target, 67.5. In which case, we'll be looking to short. Something like this. Like doing these little consolidations.
And then yeah, like this entry, go into the signals real quick just to see which price we got in at. So we put this trade out yesterday. So we got in at 69.150. So like Nick said, we got double top on the daily, right there. We got a daily bearish engulfing going on. And then we got in 69, what was it, 150? Yeah, 69.150. So we got in on the 1 hour. This thing just started falling, and it was more of like a breakout style entry right there. So that's where we got in, right at the bottom of that range. That just broke. So we'll see. Right now it's still looking very bearish. Obviously it's maintaining the moving averages and everything like that. So we'll continue to maintain the trade near these TP levels. As we get closer. It's the end of the week, so we don't want to really maintain this through the weekend. So I've already advised to move stops to entry, take half profit and everything. So So yeah, we're gonna continue to maintain this trade through tonight. We probably should get, some more movement with this. This is also correlated pretty well with GU right now. They're both
Yep.
moving the
Oh,
same
absolutely.
way.
The same with EU. EU and EJ are looking similar as well. So I'm gonna get into that. So this was right. This is a trade that we've kind of been waiting on. We did short over here, after this lower time from head and shoulders had broken the neckline, but it did pull back and turn into a flag pattern actually. So we got a major double top on this 1 hour. But I'm going to bring something to your attention on the 4 hour here, right? Super, super bearish, primarily bearish. It's not the steepest trend. It's actually kind of flattening now, but it is primarily bearish, especially on higher time frames like the daily. And now here we are on the 4 hour, right? So, we are pulling back to a pretty key level. We did wick the 61.8. We did wick key resistance here on the 4 hour. The 200 EMA is there. So there was a lot of confluence in this area, but we also have what looks like a flag, right? Flagpole, bearish flag right here. And then we could be seeing a continuation. We're just looking for a little bit of a retest before re-entering. We were short on this, and then it actually came back to entry, in which case we closed after having identified this pattern where we just want to get in on a more conservative entry. So something like this would be ideal. Let me get rid of this actually. So something like this would be ideal. Nice little retest, and then strong bearish volume, bearish setups, which could take us to new lows. That would be ideal. Or we could see this flag continue to form, and you could actually see it bounce from this lower trend line. If this forms a giant wick and pulls back, there's about 30 minutes on this 4 hours, so we'll see how it closes. But right now, this wick is not too, it's pretty uncertain. Just the size of that wick alone. You either want to see no wick, conviction to the downside, or strong rejection, in which case, this flag may not be done forming and could have another, 4 hour leg higher. Back up to this resistance level around 1.09. So, both possible scenarios. It all kind of depends on how this 4 hour closes and what the next few hours hold. So that's EU right now. But again, the dollar is super bullish, and we do have it projected to continue for in a bullish trend for at least the short term. So we could see this fall out, and then we catch some good pips on this. But this could play all the way down to the monthly. This is quite a ways away. But we're watching this one. We're just going to watch this one. This will probably be more of a, I don't know, even if this did execute tomorrow, I don't know if we would put it out because it's Friday. Not trying to hold this through the weekend. So we're going to come back to this one probably early next week and see how it does. But let's keep going. So EJ, oh man, EJ, son of a bitch. All right, let me go to the daily for a second. Super bearish. EJ is even more bearish than EU. It has a very steep channel, very steep bearish trend, which is a good sign, right? But what's more important about EJ is that we're breaking this key monthly support right now. You can see how many times it tested it. It's a very key area. There's been tons of rejection, tons of value coming off of this level, but now we're breaking it. So now this support, this once very strong support, is now turning into resistance, right? So we saw the break, came back to a deep fib level, and then finally broke, and now we're getting the confirmation. This is a textbook evening star right here. Absolutely textbook, right? Strong bullish candle. Doji right at the key level, working like 16,250, right where our monthly is, right where our MAs are, right where our 61% fib level is. A lot of confluence, tons of confluence in this daily. Then boom, the third candle, bearish with pretty much no wick, covering at least 50% of the first candle. That's a confirmed evening star, and on the daily, that is absolutely so powerful, just like you saw over here, right? Nice evening star, very, very powerful setup. So we're going to drop to the 4 hour. Right now, there was an entry in here again. This one was not put out because we had so many active trades already. I'm not trying to overwhelm you guys or cloud our community. There will always be more trades, but this was a great entry here. There's a nice mini head and shoulders on the 1 hour, left, head, right, boom, break of the neckline, right? Then your entry would have been right on this bearish engulfing. So let's go ahead and drop down time frames for a second. Whoops. And your entry would have been right here, right on this candle. Let me get rid of this for a second. Right on this candle, which is that 4 hour engulfing. Stop loss is outside of the right shoulder. Call it 60, 70 pips. Call it 70. Right? And then our target, our projected target, was at the low here. down towards, so you could target the 0%, which is a 2-0. You could target the negative 20%, which is a 3-0. Right, so this was a really great potential trade, and it executed very nicely. And I would not be surprised if we saw a whole bunch of volume come into the market now, pushing this even lower. Because again, we broke key support, tested resistance. This is a huge confluence area. We have a pattern that's identified. We do have an entry that's identified. I would actually target all the way down towards this weekly. Let's go ahead and jump to the daily to see how much sense this makes. Yeah, so it's very, very likely that we'll see price action come down to 111,650, which is so freaking far away. This was a great, great trade opportunity. But it's not done. There will be more entries on this. Again, we just got in on that 1 hour entry that we're looking at. This is, almost a 6-0, which rewards 70 pips to get, over 400. So this is a pretty crazy trade.
So yeah, next entry opportunity is probably going to be, on this 1 hour, on the 30-minute. Right now, we're just at a low. We always want to wait for lower highs, similar to that right shoulder.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just like this. You want to see these. So let's say this is the low. Again, you always want to get on a fib level as well. 38.2, 61.8. You just want to get in on a pullback. You always want to get in on a lower high. You never enter a trade on a lower low, right? Especially in a downtrend. You never enter on a lower low. We're looking for lower high entries only with strong bearish setups that confirm and give us confidence that this trade is going where we say it's going to go, right? So this is that was EJ. Very, very large potential for this trade. But let's keep going. Gold, last one. This thing is surging. Looks like we're about to make this move higher, which we've been waiting on forever because this consolidation has been crazy. All right, let's take a look. Kind of excited for this one. So right now we're around 17.15. It's looking like it's getting ready to friggin' bolt, to be honest with you. See right here, yeah. So 17.15, good. We're getting these higher lows, which is good. We're breaking these lower time frame structure levels, which is good, just like this one here, right at 17.10. Great sign, exactly what we want to see. Now we're at 17.15. This is our last, major zone. This is our 4 hour resistance level. We just want to see, we're getting strong rejection off these MAs too. This thing could take off very, very soon. Very, very soon. Look at all these 4 hour candles, all this rejection of these MAs. Breaking resistance, turning into support. Especially with the bullish dollar. Oh, I'm sorry. That actually would be counterproductive. So if the dollar turns bearish, then you could see this surge like crazy. But for now, just, consider a nice steady bullish trend on gold. Again, it is a safe haven commodity. It is in demand. That's why we're seeing it consolidate and continue to push higher. This is, if you go to the daily, you can just see how bullish it is. Super, super bullish. It's kind of become a little numb to, the negative news surrounding US dollar. It's kind of just doing its own thing. And, there's definitely gold demand right now. And that's why we're seeing these, these legs higher and this consolidation and, broken resistance turn support. And we're looking to make our next play up to 1800. So I have a small position running on this now. I got in around 1710. Right around here I entered, right as it's broken, retested. And I'm taking a small position, no harm, no foul. It's limited risk. So I'm looking to get up to this 1800 handle because I'm really waiting on this move and I'm just expecting it to happen. And it's looking really clear, looking clean, especially since, all the technicals we've applied, all the analysis we've done on this, nothing is suggesting bearish movement at all. So, the trade made sense. We're just looking to go a little long here. So 1800 is the handle, and that's gold on a 4 hour. So quick recap, guys. I covered DXY, as always. AU, AJ. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Just going. EU, EJ, and gold. And Angela's going to get into some majors, so I'll pass it off to him.
Cool. So we got 50 people in here now. For the giveaway, we're going to do a $20 giveaway. To enter, you guys just need to drop your Discord name into the chat. So if you guys aren't in Discord, I'll post the link so you guys can join up, get in there. Discord is our community where everything goes on.
Because what justifies the huge TP is I'm playing it into it's a 4 hour move. So I'm not just choosing randomly. I'm choosing my TP based on monthly or weekly support or resistance levels, higher time frame fibs, ranges. So it's not just a random target. It's, I'm choosing it based on, the next relevant level of structure.
Yeah, the whole idea behind the targets is he on the, like you said, on the higher time frame has a monthly key level placed or a weekly key level placed. We're moving away from another key level, whether we're bearish or bullish. Now, the presumed idea is that we're going to continue to that next level on the higher time frame, that next significant level. Not a 5 minute level of structure, not a 10 minute, not a 15 minute, not a 30 minute. That higher time frame, and we are going to watch the lower time frame trend and maintain the order with that trend with levels of structure in order to get to that level. Does it mean that we're going to get all the way to our target? No, that's why, half the work is just getting into the trade. And then once you're in the trade, that's the next level of you becoming like more professional in trading, is being able to maintain the order, knowing what your rules are to exit, everything like that. So yeah, the targets are there. That doesn't mean those are live and die by them and just wait, look at lower time frame structure, as we move towards those targets. So
Yep.
yeah, AJ is definitely moving nice. One more time, I'm gonna start with AJ. I just want to go over, obviously signals AJ right here. Next target 68,500. So we're looking to get to this negative 618. So why does this, why is that target there? First of all, on AJ, like Nick went over, daily time frame confirmations were just double top at the 618, bearish engulfing right here. So we got two confirmations there. And then also this was definitely like a level of resistance that was going on. If we look here, definitely stopped on a dime here, went bullish, pulled back. So multiple confirmations there. Went down to the 1 hour, and then on the 1 hour, because I had all those confirmations there, I was just looking for structure. I saw this break right here, retest, had a little bit of noise to the upside, but nothing too crazy because this, if we bump up again, this was ultimately just our bearish engulfing right there. So I was still with that. And then pretty much just looking for my normal entry. Yesterday when we were on the live session at 9, this was the entry going on right here. This was the candle that was forming that we were waiting on, like the 4 hour closure and everything like that. We got closure below the moving averages, this cross, next candle retest, and then we started to confirm this. So that's why I had entered. And then at this point, we're targeting that next. This is the next level because we had our fib on. This is a nice projection level on our fib. Also, if we look left, we got some structure here, some support here. So definitely going to be a level that's going to be tested. So we're going to see that probably get hit relatively soon. And then we'll just continue to, maintain this order. We're about to get to 1-to-1. So that's good. So let's go over to the major pairs and let's take a look. Let's take a look at GU. GU is also, this analysis we've been going over like forever, and this analysis is playing out really well. And you just got to get this idea in your guys' head is, what is the overall structure? What is the overall structure? Where are you going to place your overall fib level? So for me, I've continued to say that I'm bearish on this. 200-day is bearish. We just hit a low. We were in this retracement. We're still below these moving averages. They are pointing down. So everything on the weekly is bearish. Daily time frame, I was able to put my fib on here. So I had fib high to low. We were seeing it retrace. Nothing was broken. Until this happened, this breakthrough. This wasn't a break for me. This is nothing significant. This is just a retracement. First cross right there. And then here we had this cross. We came back up. If we were to break this zone after this, then I would have said, okay, the weekly is going to be looking a little bit more bullish at that point. Then we have to start to see, where that's going. But stayed below this resistance level, formed this double top, a lot of rejection. Now I'm able to go to the 4 hour, see if I can see structure clearly here. On the 4 hour, mainly what I saw was this. I saw this level established, whether this was looking left, you know, whether this was a high or low from this area or not, this is a level of structure right here that was broken. You know, we had the break below, test, break below, test, and then ultimately shattered it, broke below. So even down to the 1 hour though, if we want to see things a little bit more clearly, based on our sentiment being that strong to be bearish, um, I was looking at this. I had put this out there the beginning of last week. This was you know, this was the open of last week. This was the analysis. Let me see if I actually have that for you guys.
Push it right now.
No, I don't have that. So this was, if you look back in the live trading session on like May 8th or whatever, May 10th, this was the analysis that was put out. Basically what I was thinking here, my idea was like, okay, overall, you know, we're bearish. We're forming some structure here, you know, ascending at this point. We needed to break below this. This was my structure level that needs to break below. You know, broke below, retest here. This was our first entry opportunity, you know, to get in on. And we were actually in a live trading session and missed this one. We talked about it though. We talked about entering here. And then, you know, the next time this happened, I was like, you know, there's a lot more confluence here, another retest, healthy trend on the 1 hour. So I just pulled the trigger on this one. And obviously now, you know, we're moving pretty well, 1.21, 750. So we need to get to 1.21600. That is that 618 on the fib. So these fib projection levels are lining up pretty nicely for us right now. So that's the next level we're looking to get to on this one. We're up 80 pips, you know, on GU at about 1-to-1 right now. So we'll continue to just monitor this. You know, there's obviously not going to be any entries at the moment unless we see a pullback similar to this through the moving averages, retest these levels, and then another confirmed lower high. So that's GU. Let's look at UJ, because UJ I am anticipating potentially going long. I mean, let's just look at it from an overall standpoint. The weekly time frame, we're bearish, you know, very bearish. We hit this weekly level of support and showed a lot of support here, pulling back, but we are below the moving averages still. So let's get to the daily where we have our fib. Daily time frame, 100% level. Hit this level right here. Not exactly a fib level, but definitely a pullback to be significant. So just looking on the daily time frame, we are not breaking structure on the daily until we break above this level, until we break above this zone. So I'm just going to put this in red. This is our key level of structure right here. You know, we need to break above that. At the moment, we're just pulling back, you know, similar to this, 3 bullish candles, but we are bearish overall. So we weren't trying to buy here. You know, we weren't trying to buy. Same thing here. You know, could we potentially continue higher into this 618? Sure. You know, look at the 4 hour. The 4 hour actually broke structure. 4 hour broke this level. You know, now we're retesting. Could this be our first confirmed lower high or higher low? Could this be our first confirmed higher low? Sure, it could be. At the same time, you know, look how well we respect this 200-day. You know, overall, we are bearish, so I should be looking instead for more bearish opportunities so I don't get, you know, hosed in the other direction if this thing does appreciate a little bit and then just drops for us. So I'm going to continue to just wait on UJ, you know, personally right now. Let's look at the 30-minute. The 30-minute has actually been, and I actually missed this, and there would have been so many entry opportunities on this. But the 30-minute has been in a steady downtrend since it broke right here. Since this break, this surge, you know, failed to find support, broke below, bearish engulfing, first entry here. You know, then we had a little bit of consolidation here, very aggressive entry here. You're just looking at the moving averages. And then again, you know, pullbacks. So this has been maintained fairly well. At the moment, we haven't broken anything yet. If anything, we are about to see if we maintain this level. Just pulling out my random line based on this pullback, based on this. You know, ultimately, we're looking to see if we can maintain this level right now. Obviously, saw some rejection of it. So as that starts to break, I'll go to the 1 hour. 1 hour, for the most part, is bullish, and then I'll go up to the 4-hour, so on and so on. So we'll see what happens with this. If we ascend through and then break bearish and break this support level, then we'll look for sells. So UJ, I'm sitting on this 1 hour. I'm gonna keep it orange, so it's on the lower time frame. Let's go to NU. NU yesterday, we were talking about falling off some more. Obviously, we didn't expect it to be this aggressive, but we did continue with this move. Daily time frame, this thing was, I don't want to say it was easy, but this thing showed exactly what we were looking for, like to a T. Daily fib, high to low, double top in this area, bearish engulfing right here at the resistance line. From then we could bump to the 1 hour. What's the 1 hour looking like? This is what caused me to wait a little bit. The 1 hour looked, wasn't breaking any significant support. But at the same time, even though this is the case, I should have cycled down to the 30-minute. The 30-minute shows us all of these levels. This level mainly right here is our main structure level based on this pull through the moving average, find support at the bottom, triple bottom here, comes back through. And then here again, we look a little bit closer, we can see the moving average is actually crossed. So all that's showing me is that momentum starts to shift enough for the sellers to take control, and the buyers step in and secure that this is still an overall uptrend. But those are the levels that we want to watch, that when they start to break are telling me to sell. So this broke, went all the way down to this area, down here, pulled back, moving averages crossed at this point right now, came back up, perfect entry right here. Perfect entry. I missed that. I actually got in on a little trade here. I closed here based on this level of support on the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, this was just a huge, we went over this yesterday. Resistance, support, resistance, consolidation here, just ranging, support, support, support. So that's the level that we hit. I exited, and we were looking for re-entry. At that point, re-entry really came in the form of this right here, pull back, have our fib on, pulled back right to the 38.2, touched it, resistance right there, went through, obviously a nice entry right there. We were looking for a little bit more consolidation, similar to this. We were looking for pullback and then hit the 38.2 multiple times, then break below. But this thing just decided to tank. So at the moment, there's no entry right now. There's really no entry now. We're coming to a serious support level, down here at this point. 4 hour just broke structure, daily time frame, boom, is continuing obviously to be bearish. Moving averages are now crossing, making this a very significant level. So I'm going to just wait on this 1 hour time frame. I'm about to adjust my fib, or all the way down even to the 30-minute. I'm going to adjust my fib, take that off, throw on a new fib. If we pop back up, and I'll drop this in the analysis right after this. If we pop back up, and again, we're going to go for like another 10 minutes or so because I have to hop off at 9. Throw in your name in the chat for Discord if you guys want it on the giveaway. We're going to pick the winner, after this, and I'll post this replay and everything, and I'll post the analysis in the chat. I'll post the updated analysis in the chat. We'll update you guys on things that are going on, and we'll see how things play out. So NU, waiting for this pullback, boom, retest 38.2, and then we'll go short. Let's go to USEF. USEF, we were anticipating some more upward movement overall. USEF is at a critical level, and this is the best levels for us to take entries, potential entries. Weekly time frame, bearish. Weekly time frame, bearish. Last week, bearish engulfing, or 2 weeks ago. Last week, failed bullish candle, a lot of exhaustion. So yeah, we are looking to go short on this. Daily time frame, we are now back up at this level that we've just been murdering over and over again. Resistance here on this daily fib, 88.6, 88.6 again. 88.6 again. And all the time we're forming some lower highs in this area. Now we're back up in that area. Let's bump down to the 4-hour. 4-hour time frame is where I'm basing my structure on. So 4-hour, I have this supply zone marked up here that previously we retested and found resistance at. So we got that in play. We retraced, fell through the moving averages, retraced, fell through the moving averages. This is our most significant lower high. If this level breaks, I will actually go up to the daily, because that means on the daily, we got to start monitoring this level that was formed previously. This is the level that if it starts to close above, then we're like, okay, all of a sudden we got to consider what is our sentiment. So we're in this now. We're back in this area. Look at this right here. I'm expecting something similar to this. A little bit of a climb up, large wick, resistance, and then we can head lower. So I am expecting something similar to that. We'll wait and see. Down. I'm not even gonna go to the 30-minute yet. I want to see how this 4-hour candle closes. There's 9 minutes left in this. Very similar. Let's just look back really quickly. This is kind of where we're at right now. A little bit of a pullback, We're still above the moving averages, still very bullish. Now, if we get this break, I will short right away. I won't even wait for a retest because of how significant this level is in the higher time frame. I won't even wait for a retest. We can put our stops above. That's like the last level that if it does go above, then we know we're good. We know we're not in the trend, like the trend is changing and everything. So this is what we're going to look for. We're going to look for it to do something very similar to this. Boom. Come up. Let's actually extend this out a little bit more. Boom. We're going to look for it to come up again, do more of a retest of this trend line, of this level up here, of this resistance. Tons of confluence here, guys, to be bearish. And then as soon as it breaks, we're going to short. As soon as it breaks, we're going to short. So I'll drop this analysis as well. Let's hit the 4-hour on this one. I'll drop this analysis as well into the chat. So Youssef, I'll drop Youssef, UJ. Let me just write this down. Youssef. UJ is going to go into the chat. And then let's go to USD CAD. So our favorite pair, last but not least, USD CAD. Again, we are bearish weekly time frame. We are at this high in the supply zone. We've been overall, what tells me I'm bearish is more sellers than buyers right now. Bearish engulfing, bearish engulfing. This week, let's see how it closes. If it can close bullish, we'll see what the deal is. But at the same time, the daily, we're just in these two ranges. Range high, range low. 4-hour time frame right here. Broke this level of support, level of structure. We'll just clear that off. Broke that level of structure. Now we're in a retracement. We're all the way up at this supply zone. Whether we find resistance here or not, honestly, I'm anticipating that we do. Very similar to this. So I'm looking to come into this zone and potentially fall lower. So we're looking to come into the zone, potentially fall lower. We'll see how things do shake out for us. So this is UCAD. I won't take any positions. And at the moment, I won't take any positions at the moment. And again, this is in correlation with DXY. We'll see what DXY does do. It's coming to a level where it could definitely find some resistance now. We got this trend line going on the 4-hour.
Like 101.
Like this. Yeah, no, we're definitely coming up into a zone. We got the weekly right here. This is some previous resistance. DXY, bearish engulfing. So now we're coming up, huge retest, up at that level. But at the same time, we are, in a sense, with our fibs, with our technicals, bullish, broke bullish, found support, found support, found support, you know, huge bullish engulfing here. So we'll see. We're just playing the ranges right now. You know, this is, you know, definitely a high, you know, definitely level resistance. We'll see how it respects that. If we could pull back, that would correlate with USEF and UCAD dropping, and then, you know, continue higher from there. You know, we'll see. We'll see what the deal is with that. That's why we're protecting ourselves with GU. You know, got our stops to break even at this point, and AJ, you know, it's correlating pretty well with GU right now. You know, we've got our stops to break even to entry, so we're riding risk free late into the end of the week, which is always nice. And yeah, so everyone put your you know, Discord name into the chat right now. Put it into the chat if you want to enter the giveaway. I'm gonna go ahead and get you guys all into there. And yeah, for you guys that want, you know, more information on the signals, on what's included, everything like that, you can just come over, pop over to our website, you know, learn a little bit more about what we offer. You could just come to, you know, view products. Obviously, you'll probably be viewing this on the mobile, you know, on the mobile. So come over here, view products, you know, come down our programs, watch this little video as to what's inside. And then we got our 3 programs right here. You know, if you want more information, just feel free to DM us. And let me just get everybody's names copied here. I'll throw that into Google Sheets. And that's going to be pretty much it for this video. So we're going to post this, you know, on YouTube in a little bit so you guys can rewatch. And that was another pretty fire trading session.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, most of you guys stayed through this. So yeah, thanks again, guys. This was the last trading session for the week. Just to be clear, you know, tomorrow is going to be a little slower. We don't typically take trades, you know, on a Friday or at the end of a Friday as the market's closing. So enjoy the rest of the week, guys. Happy trading, and we'll see you in the Discord.
Yep, we'll see you guys. Enjoy the weekend, and we will see you on Sunday for the next live trading session. It's going to be back at the normal time at 4 p.m. So yeah, we'll see you guys then. Enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy the rest of your week.